Whenever we ran a contest like highest attack contest, people would just kill off their Clives for his silver lance. And I would just be like, where the hell did you get the silver lance, Clive? They got it from Clive. They would just refine it for attack and just try and reach the highest attack. That's my experience with Clive. No one cared for him at all, and they just killed him off for his silver lance, which everybody knows is not a good weapon. But literally nobody cared. So let's see if they can save Clive. How about that? Let's start with Clive. Clive has Lordly Lance, which is effective against armor foes. Oh my god. Now you should build a Clive just because you can use him in Arena Assault and kill some armors. I didn't see that coming. That's at least useful. But here's the thing. With Lordly Lance, he is now as useful as, say, Tobin. Who comes as Armor Smasher. I mean, it's Armor Slayer, but you find Armor Smasher. I guess he's slightly better because he has slightly more might on the Lordly Lance. He's now Tobin tier. Additionally, if you decide to waste the water on him, I'm gonna tell you right now, this is a waste. If unit is within 2 spaces of support partner. Of support partner, grants attack, speed, defense, res +3 to unit and to that ally during combat. Do you know what support partner means, guys? Do you know what support partner means? You gotta give him ally support. So you gotta use him with like a specific hero. And if you use that specific hero, all you get is attack, speed, defense, res +3 to that unit and himself. I would rather use Corrin if I wanted a support ability. Okay, sure. I'll just say this much. Don't bother with the refine. I feel like you could use the refine, of course. Like, he could be your Corrin replacement, for example. I guess he's kind of better than Corrin for supporting because technically he moves 3 spaces, right? And attack, speed, defense, res +3 to unit and to himself. And he can work as a specialty hero against armor foes. So it's not terrible. He's just basically Corrin. Combine him and Corrin. You can't combine the effects on the same hero because if you support Clive with, say, Keaton, it would be Keaton and Clive. You can't do Keaton, Clive, and Corrin. That would be a really ugly threesome, but you can't do that. It would be one or other. If you support Clive with Corrin, I guess he gets +6 to everything, which isn't huge because he's Generation 1 BST, and it was already handicapped because he's Cav. And he, look at his stats: 49 attack, 25 speed, 35 defense, 19 res. He's not good. All right, enough about that. I would 100% use Clive now, only for Arena Assault, just because he got effective against armor foes. Just because you can use some SP and get him that weapon. At least he's as good as Tobin now, in my opinion. He's probably bit better, but it takes spending due. And I would not spend that due. So there you go. Alright, sorry about that. I'm just not excited about Clive. That's it. Next is Mathilda. Oh, I'm so glad for you, girl. I am so glad for her. Chat. Did you want to build? Did you want to bet that Knightly Lance and Lordly Lance were going to have similar abilities? I was worried it was also going to be effective against armor foes. No, it's accelerate special trigger cooldown count -1, which is weird because she goes from effective against abs to special cooldown. It's basically a better slaying weapon. Wait a second. Wait a second. One sec. I will bring this up. Is this not just Oscar? This is Oscar's weapon. Loyal Great Lance. Efficiency. Accelerate special cooldown count -1. Yeah, you got it. Attack speed +3 to infantry cav allies within 2 spaces. I mean, this is to partner, and it also does defense res +3. If unit is within 2 spaces of infantry or cav ally, grants attack speed +3 during combat. This is basically Oscar. Basically Oscar. The only difference is Oscar works on cabs and infantry within 2 spaces, and Mathilda works on support ally only, and it would be attack speed, defense, res plus 3. It's just basically a slightly reworked Oscar. Okay, well, it's not like it really matters, but it's basically Oscar, so... Alright, so that's very boring. I'm sorry, guys. Like, I'm not very excited about that. That's a very plain special. Would you use Mathilda over, Clive, even? I'm not even sure about that. At least with Clive, you got effective against armor foes, and that's a better specialty. Otherwise, it's the same kind of ability. But would you rather pair your hero with Mathilda or Clive? 100% Mathilda. She's hot. Alright, so that's my reasoning. Those are the boring refines. Let's get to the good ones. Oh. What is that? What is that? Resolute Blades refined. Grants attack plus 3. That's amazing. No, I'm joking. She already had that. Deals plus 10 special damage with special triggers. That's amazing. I'm just messing. She holds that. If unit speed is over foe speed, deals damage equals 70% of difference between stats. Isn't this just Carla? Oh no. Oh no, no, no. No, 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 no. I guess she's an even better nuker now because she could potentially do 7 true damage on top of 10 true damage and on top of just having a 19 might weapon. But that's the same ability like on Nino, Flying Nino, on Carla. It's just Carla weapon. I was looking forward to like Flashing Blade 4 in the weapon. I know that would have been crazy good, but it synergizes. It's just, that is so... It's good, it's good, it's good. It's just lackluster. Oh boy. Alright, 1 second. I'll bring up Carla so everyone can see. Carla, Vassal's Blade. Accelerate special cooldown trigger count -1. Of course she doesn't get that part. If she did, I would say the refine's a lot better, but whatever. If unit's speed is over foe speed, boost damage dealt by 70% of difference between stats. It's Carla. She basically became Carla. Except she has a Wu Dao effect. And 3 extra might. Man, I'm a bit upset. Chat, what do you think of this refine? She can safely use Desperation Moonbow and Flashing Blade 4 to completely and utterly wreck everything you throw at her. Yeah, I mean, at the very least, if she has a fast special, she will have a fast special, Flashing Blade. She will be very potent because she'll hit a lot of true damage. If you have Flashing Blade 4, this person who built her has Flashing Blade 4. And I'll follow up. Kill Mathilda. Sorry, not Mathilda. Hilda Burrita. Kill Burrita. That makes a lot of sense, right? If she uses Desperation or something, she can attack, do a lot of true damage, then, and of course, trigger Moonbow, and that Moonbow would have 17 true damage on it. 22 true damage on it. That could be very, very, very potent. I agree. It's still just lackluster. But she could have done most of that anyways. Let's just be clear. That's just really just 7 extra true damage, which could make or break a kill, of course, yes. But before, it would have just been Flashing Blade 4 with 10 extra damage with Moonbow or whatever, and it would have been almost the same. It's literally just 7 extra damage, which is a difference maker, but it's not crazy. It's not a big difference maker. So yeah, I mean, I get it. I think it fits. I just wish it was a bit more. Anyways, whatever. I love Mia, by the way. She's one of my favorite girls in Half a Radiance Radiant Dawn. She's bubbly, she's cute, she just wants to be good swords. She becomes a lesbian with Nephany. Or those are my fantasies, but whatever. I just hope for a bit more. I love the girl, I still wish I got her. Final hero, of course, is Arthur. Arthur is... The final hero is Arthur. Arthur's Axe. If a bonus granted by a skill like Rally or Hone is activated on unit, grants attack speed, defense, res plus 3 during combat. Same idea as a lot of other weapons in the game right now, but I guess that works even easier. Or better, sorry, because it's all stats plus 3. Additionally, At start combat, if penalty is active on unit or if unit's HP is 100%, less than 100%, grants attack speed, defense res +5 during combat. That's not really good.
Arthur won.
I think Arthur won, but it's not a big victory.
Sure. I mean, Clive and Mathilda is fucking cute as hell. I kind of wish they got that for me and Bowie, but I mean, it makes better sense on them.
Yes, it does. Like, here's the thing. All of this seems really lackluster. I think Clive and Mathilda are just basically Corrin replacements. If
Which
you
is
want to
cool,
do that.
because Corrin's trash. And
well, I guess the actual Corrin, yeah. But outside of that, I'm not sure. And if people, here's the thing, if people already have Corrin, for example, they'll keep their Corrin. There's no reason to change for them, right? I guess it's a slight boost if you go with Clive, so you have effective against. But again, he's a Grail hero, so you wouldn't max him out. Some people max out their Corrins. Okay, not a lot of people, but I've seen them max them out.
yeah, good thing people hate Corrin.
Good thing they hate Corrin. And Mathilda. Mathilda's good. Ish. Slightly.
Lovely.
Kind of, yeah.
It's
Mia.
I.
Yeah, Mia makes sense, but it's not a big difference either. It's just Carla's weapon ability, Nino's weapon ability, Flying Nino's weapon as well, in the sword. And Arthur is, if you buff him, he gets attack speed, defense res +3, and then if you debuff him, he gets attack speed, defense res +5. Or
Yeah.
you
So
use
he
Fury.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically he's +8 to everything when all the cards are in the right hands, which with his balance stat line, that's actually kind of amazing.
The problem is this: it's two different things. You gotta get buffed and debuffed, or get buffed and take damage. Buffed and take damage is probably the most reasonable thing, so you probably drop Fury on him.
Yeah, but debuffing isn't too hard.
I know. It's just I actually had no idea what he would be. Do you remember what he was in Fates?
No, okay,
No.
a little bit.
Well, I certainly don't remember.
He had a pretty good support with Setsuna, but Azama's better.
Okay.
But his character was his character was actually kind of fun, but his stat line was kind of awful, so nobody really used him.
Yeah, that's what I expect. All right. So what I wanted to say here was simply just that if he could stop debuffs like Idune, like Brenya, I think it would have helped a lot more. But because he doesn't, I don't think it really matters. That's just my honest view on it. What do you think?
Well, it depends. I mean, I can see him being kind of okay on defense teams, but it's not going to be like my personal pick for it. Too much green.
Yeah, and the thing is, I would 100% take Hawkeye over him.
Oh yeah, honestly.
If he did that, he'd be amazing. Yes, but here's the thing you guys gotta remember. He's Generation 1. Even with all these extra stats, could you say I'd rather use him over Ross? Because Ross will still have more stats, even if he gets +8. Actually, no, that's not true. If it's +3 to everything, Ross will still have more stats. If it's +8 to everything, of course he'll have more stats. But like,
not by much.
not by
And
much.
you'll never top his HP. That HP is fucking sicko mode.
Yeah. So that's the one point I wanted to make. It's not very impressive is the problem.
It's like impressive, but it's also like, look at all these new green axes we got there in the 3-4 star pool.
Mhm.
Are you sure you want to play with him at all?
Especially if Akina demotes as well, then you got Ross and Akina competing here. And of course, in the Grill pool, you have Yogurt. And of course, there's Libra. Like, even with the +3 to everything, his stat-wise doesn't catch up very much. And even with the +5 to everything, which is not free, you gotta set it up. Even with
I think he outpaces Libra, but other than that, I don't see him doing too much better.
The problem is, if it's just a bit, it's not good enough. Because if he's hardly power creeping or like improved upon a Generation 2 hero, or in Generation 4, that's not good. So that's the problem I have, Arthur, guys. I'm sorry, it's just honest opinion. I feel
The
like
weapon
in
in concept is actually really sick, but it's on the wrong unit.
If
If
it
you
was
gave
already,
that to Setsuna, I'd be like, fuck yeah, but it's Arthur.
yeah.
Eh, eh. I do hope Setsuna gets something really nice coming up though.
Let me.
I'm actually surprised they
Yeah.
didn't give him Emerald Axe as a preference.
Okay, this is why I don't want to guess on any of these guys. I couldn't guess a single one of these right. With Mathilda, the reasonable thing to say was she's gonna keep her effectiveness against, you know, calves. Clearly not the case. Very, very, very different. With Clive, we're like, okay, historically when they have silver weapons, it could be anything. It could be something really, really good. Clearly not the case. It was just effective against armor foes, which is good, but not super good. You know. Then we
It's
go
kind of
to
weird.
huh?
I really wish she kept her horse effectiveness with like her weapon and slaying because
Yes,
it makes sense.
that would have made more sense.
Especially since the whole idea is to use them together. So one could be effective against horses and the other could be effective against armors while also having +6 to everything.
Yep. And Mia, she basically just became better Carla, is all I can say. I think Carla just has more HP, that's all. But she's essentially better Carla. So once Carla gets her refined, we can look at that again. But she's essentially just better Carla. And of course Arthur, it's the effect is good. It is. It's just Carla's Arthur's starting point is so low because he's Gen 1 infantry. So even though the effects are good, it doesn't do enough. If you put this on a newer hero like Libra, for example, I'd be like, oh cool. You know, at least that way, Libra's really balanced too. And Libra would be slightly better with it like that. But if it was a higher generation hero with more stats, I would totally go for it. But as it stands with Arthur,
if you put the work in on Arthur already, then you're pretty happy. But for everyone else, you know, it's kind of whatever.
I think that's the important thing because it does not sway anyone to use Arthur, right? Refined that would sway me to use a hero, for example, is like Brave Lucina. Brave Lucina now is effective, now can support your entire team. Super good. Brave Lucina can now support your other team by giving them better stats and better and faster specials. That's super good. Now she's a part of my team. Another hero, for example, is like I'll say even Shirshi. She came with Hammer and now she's just hitting really hard twice. Really easy to use. I would put on my team. 10 out of 10, right? Those are just examples, guys. But basically, this doesn't change anything. If you were going to use Arthur before, you're not using Arthur now. You would kind of have to make a team with him in mind, where you buff him and somehow debuff him, or at least just use Fury, which is kind of annoying because you can see this guy currently with this Arthur. Their kid right now is distant counter QR. That doesn't work perfectly with this. I guess that you can get hit and then go into it, but you know what I mean. And getting debuffed is not guaranteed, so like the stats are not. These stats aren't guaranteed. If you always have to use a hero to buff him up, or he has to always be around someone to buff him up to get that attack speed, defense, res +3, or always get debuffed, or use Fury or something to guarantee you to take damage. It's not hard, it's not impossible, it's just lackluster. Yeah.
I mean, if you use them for a rally trap.
I guess a rally trap, yeah. Either way, whatever. I'm sorry guys, these are lackluster. To be honest, this is my least favorite of all the refines.